Welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we are picking up in July 1965. We're just about to start bringing in the new harvest, and I've got a couple of issues I do need to address, but before that I'd like to say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. And probably one of the biggest focuses in the last video was about setting the way I'd set up my road crews, and I think that you're probably right. I also spotted a bit of a mistake here in this, because what I hadn't done is allocated this construction crew to a place where the workers pick up. And I've also just noticed I can't actually spell road as well. Oops, not one a zero, on a little O. Yeah, so that's a bit of a problem. And one of the ways I'm going to address the question you've asked is I want to do something which I don't normally do, but I think in the case of this map where I've got to build out so many roads, what I'm actually going to do is build a specialist construction site office here. I think we should be able to get 16 in here. Come on, we can do it. And what I'll do is put this one next to the big construction site here. And the reason is, what I'm going to do is make this into a delivery construction site. So some of the surplus dumpers will be moved into here alongside some open holes and some covered holes. And what that will do is as the jobs come up, I can allocate this construction office to go out and actually deliver the goods. And what that means is I will be able to specialize some of these construction offices to specific tasks. And that also leads on to another comment someone posted about related to construction offices, and that is that can you actually build roads with streetlights without a crane? And what I'm going to need to do first is I'm going to come in here. I think I've moved out the crane from here, and I can't remember where I sent it actually. I think I might have just make sure there's no cranes in these offices. And then what we're going to do is come to here. I'm just going to put a there. And what I also want to do is I'm just going to turn off the... Yeah, I've turned off the auto assign here already. That's it, yeah. The road crane is still in here, but I've actually turned off the auto assign. And what I probably will do is move the road crane out. So what we're going to see is whether the Haven't construction crew here can actually build this road and erect the streetlights. I've got a feeling they will, but my main concern is how long it would take them to put the streetlights up. Moving on to another comment someone posted, and this is one of these comments that I get from time to time where it sounds quite innocent in its own way, but it triggers a rethinking strategy. And my original plan was to push north up into this area and then develop Portsmouth in a slower pace, but I'm starting to think now, in fact let's just say what the comment actually is. What someone said is that I should be concentrating on getting some shipping in here so that I can bring in some more bulk goods into this area, and I think they're right. So what I'm going to probably start to try and do is think about building up Portsmouth as a town with respect to shipping, and then what we'll do is we'll get some shipping terminals along here. It's also possible that we might be able to get some passenger lines in as well, because we're not that far away from the NATO border, so the 12-hour tourist restriction should work. I mean, this one might be a bit sketchy. I think that will be a good way forward, because if I can get some ports here, it means if I say, for example, come up here and open up this area in the top right left-hand corner here and get some oil, I can bring the oil through into this area, and then what I can do then is sort out the fuel situation here. So I think that was a very good comment. And the final comment I want to talk about is to do with the line manager. And somebody actually posted a comment that said, well, I should start renaming the lines. And I actually made a start of this. And I'm going to be honest that I've never really got on very well with this line manager. And I think what I want to do now is try and improve it a little bit. Because if you look down here, you can see that I've got potential duplication here. Oh yeah, because you're coming in from there to there. Of course, this is one of the nice things about the line manager is you can actually see the line. So why have I got North Quarry 1 and North Quarry 2? You're actually coming... Oh yeah, you're separate lines as well. Yeah, because I've got 4 quarries. Sorry. I've only got 4 quarries. Why have I got 2 lines here? You're North Quarry 1. You're North Quarry there. It's almost like I've got a duplication here. And I've got, I mean, have I actually got 3 vehicles on here? Yeah, it looks like I do. So I've actually got a duplication of a route here. And I think this is the advantage of the line manager. But I'm not going to try and what I'll do is I'll try and sort that out off camera because I don't want to get too distracted. Because I need to talk about a couple of major issues I've spotted since making the last video. The first one is a relatively straightforward fix, and that is that this road up here, which I've been pushing through to try and get to my coal mine, I've realised that I need to really upgrade this to asphalt before I start building up there, because I was trying to use the usual trick of putting in a gravel road to assist the upgrade. Because of the terrain here, I can't put a gravel road. The only bit I can do is put a gravel road to here. What I'm going to need to do is asphalt this up to probably at least as far as here before I do anything. In fact, what I need to do is the road that goes through and will eventually come out here, it's got to be asphalt all the way through. And that's the reason why I took the auto detect off of the... And of course, what I want to try and avoid is upsetting the gravel disposal here, because they'll be able to come down here. What I want to do is assign the Gosport Road crew to it. I've taken the auto detect off the Gosport Road crew for this reason. I want them to focus very much on this. And so, but of course they will get support from the Havant Road crew as well. One thing I have noticed with these dumpers, they take a very long time to fill up. But I think in some ways it is advantageous. Now the other problem I've got is this oil refinery here, which I haven't actually allocated jobs to yet. So let me just allocate these. And I'm starting to wonder whether I'm pushing the economy a little bit too hard with respect to this. And probably the best way to explain it is if I come up to here, you see I've only got 166 unemployed workers. Do this oil refinery and keep it going efficient enough to justify the cost of importing this, because this is going to have to produce both fuel and bitumen that I could export in quantities that I can export to justify the price of the oil imports. So I've got a little bit of a risk there. And I think the other problem I've also got here is that this is filling up, so I need to get this built as well. And I think the mistake I made in the last part is I got a little bit carried away because I started putting the street lights in. And I'm pushing the economy a little bit too hard. And yes, I know I'm making money, but at the same time, if I come in here, you'll see that my income is totally dependent on tourism. And I think I really need to kind of slow up a little bit and get things sorted out. At the same time, I do want to do a little bit of planning as well, but I'd like to get this oil refinery finished and possibly ramp it up a little bit. The other thing I would like to do is get these finished as well. I think this is the microbus from the construction office here. They've actually dropped off a few workers. That's only a short little bit there. Now I made a change down here by putting a bridge in over here. Now, my original plan was to put heating here, but I don't think I really want to do that now. So what we're going to do is just put the road round here, which will go there, which will allow fire trucks to come in here. And what I'm thinking is that I've got the 2 heating plants coming through. In fact, just speed the game up a bit. I was going to be here forever. I've got the 2 heating plants coming in from this side. And what I'm thinking is that if we build up Portsmouth here, and the way I'm going to probably do things is that this bit down here is going to be an industrial zone. We're going to put the main city just in the center here. What I'm kind of moving towards, because we're going to have coal up here, is possibly having a coal-fired heating plant up here, but a large one. But it should be far enough away from the towns, and should I need extra heating over here, what I should be able to do is run a heating pipe across the river here, because I think I can bridge the river. Oops, heating. Just check. Yep. We can get across there, and it looks like the harvest has started, and I actually had a little bit of a surplus left over from you can see here. So whereas the crops are rolling in quite well, we're only on the 8th of August at the moment. And what I've actually done is I've increased the capacity of this warehouse to maximum, so we should get 325 tons of food in here. And so what I want to do is build up a little bit of a contingency here with respect to keeping this plied. I mean, but my main concern is that I'm not using crops. And that leads me into something that I want to think about, and that is that one of my major costs, if I come in here, imports, is, well, it's not actually shown there, is meat. Meat's fairly expensive. Of course, steel's always expensive. And at the moment we're okay. I mean, and fuel is expensive, which is the reason why I built the oil refinery, but I don't want to place, I mean, if you add the fuel and the bitumen together, that's 15,000. So what we're going to need to do is have enough trucks and vehicles to, so what we're going to need is enough trucks to come through here to keep this busy. So I really need to upgrade this road here. The other thing I also want to do is build this distribution office here. I'm aware that I'm putting a lot on there. It looks like the Haven route has actually come online. This is the big one over here. And I'm just going to turn off the auto detect on this. Get rid of all these jobs. Get rid of you. Of course, we're going to have to assign stuff. I think workers we're going to assign to here. Gravel's going to have to come up to here. Asphalt over there. Concrete there. I mean, steel's going to be a long way away for the moment. And what I'm going to really need to do is consider some ancillary storage over here. Bricks, prefabs, and the same with the boards. Got a lot of boards up here which we're not exporting, but I've got some money. I think for the moment what we're going to do is I'm just going to move the roller over there. Actually, do I need to do that? Oh, there's a mistake here as well. We're not going to put the lighting up if we can't get the electrical components. There's something else that we need to do, which means that this office is going to need a covered hole. In fact, we've got probably a bit too many dumpers, but they're all out at the moment. Yeah, so what we're going to have to do is buy a covered hole for here. We'll just drop you in here. This is one of the downsides of putting up street lighting, is that the road crews need a covered hole to deliver the electrical components. Nearly made a mistake there as well. I mean, if the dumpers return here, what I can do is I can shuffle this round a little bit and put the dumpers into here. I really would like to. Got no power supply, but no fun. I think I'm gonna get a couple of dumpers. I don't want to spend too much money setting this up. Have an open hole, covered hole. Where is it? Well, a fairly big covered hole as well. What we got here? Of course, you're going to need a... I'm wondering whether... I mean, how many excavators have you got in here? I mean, my instinct is to move the excavator over here, actually. And maybe what we'll do is we'll move the roller back. Yeah, I think an excavator and a bulldozer would be enough, because we need the extra kit to do that. And we can pull out one of the dumpers and then we can shuffle things around again. Let's have a quick look at this crew. In fact, I think... Where's the Gosport Road crew? You've got a bus and you've got 2 rollers, 2 pavers. I mean, I think temporarily we'll move the crane to here as well. Because another thing I've realised since the last video is that street lights are great, but they're very expensive. So what I'm probably going to do is slow down the pace a little bit with putting in the street lights so that I don't drain all my money out putting the street lights out. So moving the crane over here won't be too bad. So what we have else we need here, we're going to need a couple of concrete mixers. Get one of those. Like a tower crane. We got there a personal car. Don't want pavers. Don't really want a bulldozer. Excavators would probably cover it. I think we'll keep this intentionally light for the moment. And what the job of these guys is just going to be is to provide support for the Gosport Road crew. Not that they've got much to build, actually. Okay, you can come there. That is just opened up as well. Get that built. How are you doing here? This is built. I need to keep the Gosport Road crew busy because they've got 2 of the... What we're going to do is just build that bit in there. Then we can take the gravel road out. I need to asphalt through here. And more importantly, get that done. Right. I think I've covered a lot of the stuff here. I think I actually cancelled this one, didn't I? Actually, we can put the Gosport Road crew on this one and the Havant Road crew on this one as well. And I've cancelled this one for the moment because I want to do a little bit of planning up here for something I want to do. I just want to check. Well, we're getting the crops through here, so we're actually getting stuff off the field. So let me just have a quick look. It's interesting. So it looks like we haven't got a backlog in the fields, which is good. Yes, it does. Why is it not showing it? Perhaps if you click on it. So we've got a little bit of a backlog, but I think they're staying on top of it. So we got 4.5 tons there. I think this is quite a good indicator. I mean, 25 tons there is not so good because this has all been done. But you can see a couple of lorry loads, and we'll pull that out. So that's not quite so bad. Now, let me just check my unemployed workers. So we need more workers in here. Now, I've been thinking a little bit about how big I want to grow Gosport. At the moment, the population is just over 3,000, and I'm probably thinking that a final population for this for Gosport will be around 5,000. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to grow it to 5,000 and then before I move on, but I'm thinking 5,500 would probably be good enough, because what that would do is support the industries I've got around here. We'll try and get them to maximum efficiency. Okay, next thing I need to do, sorry about this, that's oil. We need to make sure that this one is bitumen and this one is fuel. There's one thing you want to do before you start the oil refinery up is make sure you assign these, because once the oil, because quite often what will happen is the game will decide arbitrarily what those are. Back to what I was saying, yeah. So what I want to do is get a big enough population to support the industries I'm going to have around here, but also possibly to provide workers down to here should they be needed. In some ways, I don't want to crowd in everything round here. What I want to do is to have space to develop things, but there is one industry I do want to put in. But first, we're going to have to sort this out. We'll call this Gosport Fuel Store. And we'll call this Gosport. So I just spelled bitumen. Bitumen Store. for you. Gosport oil in. I think that's a good enough name. See, we've already got workers in here, but we've got no oil. Ha! And they're very enthusiastic. I think that's down due to the fact that in the last video I allocated 2 minibuses to here, but what I've actually done is put a bus up here just to ensure that we keep a good number of workers going in here, also keeping the fire station populated. Now, what I want to do is we need to import the oil to get the fuel. But at the same time, I'm a little bit concerned about bringing in too much. So what we're going to do is call you Gosport oil deliveries. I need an oil tanker type thing. And I think I've got I got a big cistern in here. We only got little ones. I thought I had a big oil delivery. Yeah, I think you're out delivering. See, I don't really want to upset him, so what I'm going to do is we're going to get what's got the biggest capacity? You got 9, you got 12, you carry 70. So you're 9 and you go faster, and you carry more. I think maybe we're gonna pop 2 of these, so we're gonna have to set you to there, and we're gonna deliver to here. And I want this at 10%. I don't want to start bringing in too much. And you're going to bring in or unload oil. Probably find they were going to rush here now and not buy oil, probably buy fuel or something like that. See, this has got a tank of 300. And then what I want to do is get this starting to trundle forward and producing some bitumen and fuel. And then the other one here, small distribution office here, what we'll probably do then is expand this a little bit, or then what I'll do is I'll use the tankers in here to no, not there, here. This is what it was bought, yeah. Sorry, gospel. Trying to think. This is bitumen. Yeah, I was on the right track. Just and what I want to do is get a tanker in here, and what that tanker will do is pick up the bitumen from here when it's actually being produced. So we're actually starting to produce stuff now. We've got a bit of fuel coming in, a bit of fuel there. And what I want to do now is we've got the fuel coming into this gas station here, and then we've got this distribution office that's picking up fuel from the gas station here and then supplying it out to here. Once I know this is running pretty efficiently, it's not really, I think it needs a little bit more. So we're not getting that number of workers in here. This is what worries me. But we need more workers, believe it or not. Part of me says bring a road out here actually. And we've got this road here. Yeah. See, this is my concern. But producing this. Okay, I think we're going to give it a go. And what I'm going to do is we're going to add But one is the fuel tank, bottom one. And I'm gonna remove. What I'm gonna do is push this up to the. Now I'm gonna take it off for the moment. We're just gonna take a little bit of a chance that we can supply this one here and this one down here with the fuel based on what's coming into here. But I'll keep this one as a backup, taking fuel directly from there. And the other thing I want to do now is pick up from there and deliver to there for the moment. And your job is going to be to try and keep that all to 90%. Now, that's a possible problem because we've only got... Okay, what have I done now? No. 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 That's wrong. Right, we've got some money. What I'm going to do now is we're going to put in a oil tanker here. And I think given the distance, speed is probably going to be better than capacity. We're going to pick up there and deliver there. And what that means is that what we'll do is sport customs gas station. Why have I got that concrete plant in there? We shouldn't be delivering that because they haven't got the vehicles for it. Okay. We got me. I want to keep this going here. And I think as a backup, because it's so important, I'm going to add you as a backup there. So there'll be a duplication between this duplicate office here and the other one. I need to keep this full just to make sure that I get all the crops in. We're actually in September now. How are we doing? Have we actually picked up all the crops by September? Wow. Maybe these guys are very efficient. Okay. So this, the wait for steel here. Is that? Ah, I know what I've done wrong, haven't I? And I've messed it up again. I forgot to allocate steel because I've got lampposts need steel. I think this is one of the complications with putting these out. You can see he's going to go out now and upload that. So we've got this running, and how's the... We're getting the fuel in here now, and we're getting the bitumen in here. Part of me says that I'm actually liking the idea of maybe building this. We're going to put Havern and Gosport Road Cruise on that. If we build the tank here, we're just going to put that in there and that. Yeah, if we built this tank in here, what this can do is bring the bitumen down to here, keep the asphalt plant full. But then if this say gets over say 20% or full, we can then export the bitumen out. So I think that will work because we're going to get a bit of a build up here, which is going to be... Let's just check the economy. How are we doing for exports? So at the moment, kind of just hanging in there with clothes. I mean we're making a profit, but that's down to tourism. Anyway, I've got a little bit distracted. I just want to see how the guys are going. We got this being built. We can sort this out here. And, I mean, in some ways, I'm running out of jobs. Oh, there's one thing else I need to allocate. In fact, I can allocate this to you as well. Here's my new power supply here. I've kind of laid this in a bit off camera. I'm actually thinking, because something else I'm considering is a power station. Actually, I'm going to put it out there, guys. Now, I know this is going to be seen as cheating, but I want to do an experiment for my other series that I'm starting up. And so what I'm thinking is power plants. I'm thinking possibly putting a geothermal power plant down here. Maybe something like down about here. Because I've got absolutely no idea how this actually works. The alternative is that we have like a river one here, but I think the banks are a little bit too high. So there's the question. Do we stick with coal-fired power station, or do we actually have some fun with this? I mean, I could compromise. I mean, we could put in, say, a medium or something like that. I just want to do a bit of an experiment with this to see if it works, because on this map I can afford to take the chance because I'm building everything. But on my other series, that's the Baltic Coast Islands series, that could be a bit more crucial. So I need to actually make sure that will work. So opinions, do you feel it's cheating, or are we just kind of innovating something that could be a bit of fun to try out? And I think just to give my options open, if we come in, I can never find these power cables. I want to get rid of you, because if we're going to put a power station down there, we want something that's going to give it a bit more carry capacity. So what I'm going to do is put you there, find you, and assign you that I haven't. Construction office. Actually, we'll put you both on that. And that means if I do, because if I do put in a geothermal power plant, it will be down here, and we'll be using the workforce from here to keep it going, which means that what I'm going to have to do is put in a power connection down to here with a full 18-watt carry capacity. Now that leads me to the next thing I want to do, which is I want to plan the residential area here. This is, wow, the population is certainly growing. We're up to 3,209. And so what I want to do now is put in some residential here. Now I don't want to put in great big massive office blocks, but I've been looking at these, and these look quite intriguing because they've got a nice pattern to the footpaths. And I'm wondering, and I mean, they only take 231 workers each, so they're not like going to be a massive demand. I'm wondering whether I can get 3 across here with gaps in between for other footpaths. Oh, look at that. And then we can just whack a footpath between there and there. And probably another one. Actually, we'll leave that bit of space because if we get a demand for anything, we can do it. It's just going to accept that. We're just building these footpaths. We should get auto detected. And the way I'm going to expand this town is we're going to come down to probably another row into this area here, and out this way a little bit. But I want to leave a strip up here because the next thing actually, oh, look at that. Got the. Okay, it's not connected. Oh yeah, because I didn't build this. Yeah, ha! Sorry about that. The next thing I want to put in is not a mod, it's equipment. Is I want to put in a pollution monitor here, because my industry is creeping this way, and what I want to do in this corner here is build in some meat production. Well, that's the idea anyway. So I just want to check here. We're getting some workers in here. We're actually getting quite a lot of fuel actually. So maybe my caution here is being a little bit too much. I'll send you. I think we'll add you to there, and we'll keep you up at 50%. Things settle down, what we can do is take away all responsibility for fuel distribution from there. I'm getting a little bit behind here. Oh, wow, this is the long one. How far up are you going to go? About there. And this is why I wanted to keep the Gosport road crew. Yeah, but although looking over here, we're in October, winter is coming. What we'll do is we'll put that to the road crew as well. Ah. And I think that is proof that you can build roads with streetlights without a crane, but I still wasn't really able to prove that this wasn't as efficient as using the crane. And my instinct is that maybe if you're doing little short sections like this, you do it with a normal road crew, but I think if you're going to do quite a long section like this, a crane would probably be a little bit more efficient. So we're just going to let that fill in. Right, but I do want to get this done before the end of the video. And that is, I want to put in a meat farm up here. And even if I got to import the crops, because meat is becoming a cost, and of course if I get a livestock farm here, I can supply meat to Portsmouth and Gosport. Well, that's the idea anyway. So I'm just going to slow it down because I don't want to really run into winter. We need a livestock farm, a full range of slaughterhouse. Now what I'm thinking is, let's have a look at the livestock farm. I haven't really planned this yet. The crops will come in from that side to begin with, but I'm also considering is putting a warehouse in, because what I wouldn't mind is a rail connection coming up here, so that when we're importing crops from the port, the train can bring the crops up into here, keep the livestock farm busy. The thinking is if I push this up, say about there, and we'll work from this side, which is the reason why I've put this pollution meter in. So if we can stretch that out a little bit, well, I don't have to connect to the road, do I? What am I thinking about? Okay, let me just put this in, say, actually let's do this the opposite way round. Let's see, slaughterhouse. We're going to need something a bit like that, isn't it? I can get the slaughterhouse in here. We're going to need to put power supply in as well, aren't we? So we got that there. Meat store. We put the meat store in, say, like that. And we can connect you up there. Don't want to put this in there. I'm really going to need to asphalt this as well, aren't we? I doubt whether that will do it. So anyway, no, go away. So we put in the, what is it? We put in the slaughterhouse. We need a livestock range. This is where the cattle are stored, aren't they? We can put this in. I want to put enough space in for another bus stop here as well. So if I put in, say, that, just tilt that round a little bit. I mean, what is the output from this? This is 5 tons of livestock. If I put 2 of these in, I might be too ambitious. No, I think we'll just go with 1, because we're not talking about producing the meat for the whole map, just for two towns. So maybe we'll just come in like that. Go up a bit. I think we got a little bit of a dead zone in the center here. We've now got the livestock range, then we got the farm up this way. We've got a pedestrian entrance that way, so I could put the road that way. Although if I put it that way, that's on the wrong side, isn't it? So if we put the livestock farm, say, up here. Oh, we got tree cutters. Yes. What I'd like is, say, for you to come like that. I mean, it's a bit spaced out, but I think it'll work. And then what I need is another bus platform in here. Drop the workers off to there and there. So bus stop in like that. Now we'll put this in as a separate delivery point like that. I really need to asphalt these roads. Let me just see. How busy are you? Are you doing anything? You've got a few unfinished roads. I mean, what we got coming up here is mainly construction crews, isn't it? So I know you're going to pick it up anyway, but I think I need to asphalt this before I do anything else. So we've now got this in here. We can put the asphalt road in, say, to there. And we can put you in. You're just effectively going to be a service road for fire stations. So we got our livestock production here. Now comes the fun bit. So what I'd like to do is run a rail line up through here. And the question is, do I want to put bridges in here? Or will I just go with roads? This is a little bit close, isn't it? Just get rid of you. No, I don't like that. I'll take you out there. I think I've just messed up the road crews. What I'll do is railway line. Not high enough, is it? But I must admit, one element of this game I really dislike, and I wish they'd improve a little bit, is the bridging. And if any of you know a really reliable way to build bridges, feel free to chuck it in the comments, because I just get there. I'm going to go really high. That's it. Just kind of put a viaduct over here, like that. And we're going to bring you up down. Then we'll put the workshop, not the workshop, warehouse back in again. And see if we can do steeper descent. Oh, get that in there. Now I'm going to keep this as a single bridge. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to leave enough space on this for anything else. Now the question is that this one here, can I afford the disturbance for, because this is very close to here, and I'm not convinced I can get a bridge up over here. We'll give it a go. Trouble here is that perhaps I'm going to have to put in two bridges. So we have to come here. what we're going to have to do is bring off the track here. Now I'm not going to put a connection back this way, because even if we create a surplus of meat, we're not going to be exporting it because we'll be shipping it around the map. So if I can connect you up to there, and then if I can get in, what type of bridge was this? This is was a truss bridge, wasn't it? If some modder or somebody could actually ever come up with a dual bridge, you know, a bridge with 2 tracks on, I would be forever grateful. Actually, I'm just going to accept that. Get you there. Here we go again. Cancel. I think part of the problem is the angle, isn't it? Right, I've finally managed to get across. It's been a really painful process, and it looks horrible, but I'm gonna have to put up with what I've got. Hopefully this will come off. Oh, stop. Take that up to there. What I'm going to do is run this track through to here, and then we're going to come on. And we're going to merge the tracks here, and then this run into the warehouse here will be a single track run. I'm just going to accept that. This looks awful, but there's not much I can do about it. I mean, I'd love to have had a parallel viaduct here, but we're just going to, that is the way it's going to have to be. We've now got a rail link into here. Just going to make that reality. That's being built. This is this is, of course, the game's got to put in. And is this asphalt? Yes, this is asphalt. I'm not going to put in the rest of the road connections here just for the moment. Probably put in a couple of footpaths. Footpath to there. We get. We'll just hook up a footpath there. Of course, what we're going to have to do is bring a footpath up here, allow the construction to go along. So those won't get built until that's done. So we've now got our meat production here. We've actually piled up a lot of money while I was messing around doing that. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we're just going to carry on building up our economy, trying to get these roads sorted out. I'd love to get up here so that we can start getting our coal mine operational. And has this not been... Why are you not... No workers or mechanisms. What's up with you then? Ah, I know what you've got. You've got no bus, haven't you? Ha ha ha. Yes. I think we'll put in. I'm going to try an experiment here. We're going to have a full-size bus and a mini bus, and see how they work. Yeah. See, look. My fail there. Sorry about that. But I'm getting distracted, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. So in the next part, we will probably work on building this up and maybe expanding this way down again, because this is already full up. So I'm going to assign this to the Gosport construction crew. Until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.